How many times have you checked your phone today? First thing in the morning, before you even sat up. The phone resting right there on the pillow, and your fingers were already tapping the screen before you'd taken your first conscious breath. Sounds familiar? Every notification pulls you away. You feel that low hum of urgency. Someone messaged me, I should reply. You open a social media app and someone's photos scroll past. Their life looks bright and full. Yours suddenly feels a little pale by comparison. And somehow, an hour has vanished. Has that ever happened to you, a night like that? You're not doing anything wrong exactly. You're just staying informed. Just staying connected. That's what you tell yourself. But beneath that, there's a feeling, like something is slowly being worn away. Your heart is tired and yet you can't put the phone down. Because if you do, you might miss something, and that thought, somehow, feels frightening. You are not alone in that feeling, not even close. Today I want to share a story with you, one that was told 2,500 years ago. I think it might make something inside you feel just a little lighter. During the time the Buddha walked the earth, disciples gathered from every corner of India to learn from him. Among them was a man named Ananda, perhaps his closest companion. For decades, Ananda never left the Buddha's side. He listened to every word, held every teaching in his memory, and carried those teachings to others. One day, Ananda came to the Buddha with a troubled look on his face. "Teacher," he said, "lately I cannot seem to find any peace. People come to me from all directions, asking me to listen, asking me to carry their messages, asking me to help. I cannot refuse them, and by the end of the day, I realize I have spent every hour inside someone else's words. My mind is so loud I can't sleep. I wonder, can I truly be of any use to you in this state?" The Buddha looked at him quietly for a long moment. Then softly he said, "Ananda, think of a still pond. When a strong wind blows, the surface ripples and churns and stirs, but when the wind passes, the water grows calm again. The water itself has not turned murky. It has simply been disturbed by the waves." Ananda listened without a word. "Your mind is the same. When words and demands come rushing in one after another, the mind stirs. That is natural. But tell me, have you been staring so long at the churning surface that you have convinced yourself the whole pond has gone dark?" The Buddha gently guided Ananda to the base of a large tree and said, "Sit here for a while. You don't need to answer anyone. You don't need to meet anyone's needs right now. Simply sit. Let the wind pass." And so Ananda sat. At first the voices in his head kept coming. "I should reply to that person. What did she mean by that? I need to think about tomorrow." But slowly, gradually, those voices grew quieter. He heard a bird call somewhere above him. He heard the wind move through the leaves. He felt his own breath deepen, slow, and soften. How much time passed, he wasn't sure. But when Ananda finally opened his eyes and walked back to the Buddha, something in him had shifted. "Teacher," he said quietly, "I understand now. I had been staring at the surface of the water all along." The Buddha smiled, warmly, gently, and said nothing more. Does that story feel a little too close to home? What troubled Ananda wasn't so different from what troubles us today. The sense that information and demands keep pouring in faster than the mind can absorb them. This was India, 2,500 years ago, and yet it could be a description of any Tuesday in our modern lives. The Buddha described what we might call, in Buddhist teaching, a state of scattered mind, when the mind leaps from one thing to the next and cannot settle anywhere. It sounds like a technical term, but really it just means that restless, buzzing feeling when your thoughts won't slow down. Our minds at their deepest are like still water, naturally clear, but when wind blows, waves form. And the wind today, it's the ping of a notification, it's the scroll of a feed, it's the message sitting there unread, quietly demanding your attention. Here's the part that matters most. The Buddha did not tell Ananda to throw away his responsibilities. He did not say, "Stop talking to people." He simply reminded him, when the wind stops, the water finds its own way back to stillness. The problem isn't the information itself. The problem is never stepping out of the wind. What we need, what Ananda needed, is to consciously create time when the wind cannot reach us. Time when the mind is allowed to go quiet on its own. And there is something else the Buddha offered Ananda that morning. Ananda believed his mind had gone dark, that something inside him had been corrupted. But the Buddha corrected him gently. The water hasn't turned muddy. it's only the waves. If you've ever caught yourself feeling ashamed for how much time you've spent on your phone, if you've thought, why am I so weak-willed? What is wrong with me? I want you to hear this. Nothing is wrong with you. The wind is simply very strong right now. Your water at the bottom is still clear. It has always been clear. And look at what the Buddha actually did for Anda. He didn't give a lecture. He didn't hand him a list of instructions. He walked him to a tree and said, sit here. Just be here for a while. Nothing to do, nothing to figure out. Just be somewhere the wind can't reach you. That was the prescription. So what does this mean for us, living the lives we actually live? Let me be honest with you first. We cannot get rid of our phones. We use them for work, for family, for navigating the world. We can't delete every social media account and disappear into the woods. That's not the reality most of us live in, but we can change the relationship just a little. The first thing is this: choose a time each day to put the phone down. Not forever, not even for long. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. While you eat, while you drink your tea, while you walk around the block. During that window, you don't check the notifications. You don't respond to anyone. You simply exist. Like Ananda at the foot of the tree, you step out of the wind. The second thing, learn to notice when you're comparing. You know that feeling when you're scrolling and something shifts, a subtle tightening in your chest, a vague sense of not enough? That almost always means you're measuring yourself against someone else. Their highlight reel against your ordinary afternoon. The Buddha taught again and again that comparison is one of the deepest sources of suffering. Now being told stop comparing rarely works. We're human after all. But what does work is simply noticing. I'm comparing right now. That moment of awareness is enough to create a pause. And in that pause, you can choose to set the phone down. The waves settle a little. The third thing, give yourself permission not to respond right away. So many of us carry this quiet pressure. If I've read it, I have to answer it immediately. To wait feels rude. But think about this honestly. The people who truly matter to you, would your relationship really break if you took a few hours to reply? Most of the time, a simple "I'll get back to you soon" is more than enough. Pause. And this perhaps is the most important thing of all. When you put the phone down, please don't scold yourself for doing nothing. Let yourself stare out the window. Let your mind drift. Let there be silence. That is not wasted time. That is exactly the time your mind needs to find its way back to stillness. The waves on the pond, dissolving one by one. You don't have to be productive in every moment. The moments that look like nothing, those are often the moments that restore everything. Just as the most important thing Ananda did that day was simply sit under a tree and let the wind pass. If I could leave you with just one thought today, it would be this. Your mind is not broken. There is simply too much wind. Please don't blame yourself for struggling to put the phone down. Please don't call yourself weak because the notifications pull at you. That is not a flaw in you. It is the nature of the age we are living in. When a pond is caught in a storm, the water churning on the surface is not the water's fault. It is simply in the middle of a storm. Tonight, before you sleep, just once, try setting the phone aside. 5 minutes is enough. Don't look anything up. Don't check on anyone. Just feel your own breath. And I think you'll find in that quiet that you are still there, calm beneath all the noise. The self that was always there, waiting patiently under the surface. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If something here brought even a small measure of ease to your heart, that means everything. Please take good care of yourself tonight, and rest well.